Members today. I'm here to introduce Helen Hancox, our speaker for today. Helen has been in business for a while, and she can make files fly. Now she's been running the flying filing company for many years, and she's going to talk to us today about how to clear a building which is affected by earthquakes. So very interesting. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you. Running behind me eventually will be some photographs of sites that have been affected by earthquakes. But the purpose of this, I thought I'd let you know how do we go about clearing out a building that initially was assessed as having 150 to 200 linear metres of paper in it. And I knew that was wrong just because I'm experienced. And just sort of how do you do that? And what we know is that organisations only think about their filing in a crisis, like we've got an earthquake, or oh dear, we're going to move buildings. They don't think about filing prior to that. The other thing that makes it even worse is that not a lot of people actually know what a record is. So you probably know that I'm quite passionate about jumbo tennis, and it would be fair to say that I'm more passionate about filing. I do have the jumbo tennis rackets encased in a proper case, as you'd expect, and barcoded. Well, it's true. Over the years, I've developed cunning and creative ways in order to get files moving and to throw out what is not a record. So in the past, we've moved thousands of boxes for Mighty River Power, and why did we do that? They were moving out of their building down to a new site. In Christchurch, the Justice Ministry had huge difficulty when their filing shelves collapsed, and we helped make lists of those. And in Wellington, we're currently working with 3 different organisations. Now you will find that there's a photograph that's going to go past that has a club member's name on it. We threw them out. So how long does it take? Now it takes 8 hours to work with 1 linear metre of paper. So when we said to the client, well, if you've got 200 linear metres, that's going to be 2,000 hours. We keep cold flannels because they lie down and in shock. So it's not such, it takes a long time. So the idea is you have a plan, and we had a plan that on day 1 we were going to turn up and we were going to measure specifically how much there was. So that involved us walking through the floors with post-it notes, and I see I've got one stuck on my foot. When you work in this industry, there's stuff all over the place, and I thought I'll just leave it there. It felt quite calming. We labelled every cupboard, called a timbre, and we photographed the contents, and that's a lot of what you're seeing there is the contents of these. And then we made a plan on how are we going to do it. Well, there were 3 squad members who can type and have Excel spreadsheets. You saw it? Threw them out. They hadn't updated them since 2013. Well, plainly they weren't looking in them prior to the earthquake, but that's home, calm and serene. So the thing is, you've got to have a plan. So we have a plan. We move to a floor and we work through that floor, and that goes really well, and we are going left, right in order to find what is the record, because not all of this stuff is a record. And then the organisation decides that we really have to be clear of the building by Friday. And could we possibly do that? And I thought, what? Because I like going left, right. But a squad member said, now Helen, if we did, we could. So we went and we assessed how many metres of paper we could fit in the spare space on the floor we were working in. And you'll see a picture go past, which is Colin's picture of the cartons and how much they would weigh. So we wrote a report to them. I shouldn't laugh, I know, but we wrote this report saying, yes, we really could do that. We could drop what we're doing now and pick it all up and bring it down here, except it's going to weigh 15,000 kilograms. So check with your building owner and see if that part of the floor can hold 15,000 kilograms. The date was pushed out. Funny that. And that that meant we were able to go back through the building in order to throw stuff out. So in 1 week we threw out 80, those destruction bins. Each of those that particular week we did 15,000 kilograms throwing out. But what goes wrong with these things is that people haven't been in the building since November, and we're looking at this stuff and thinking, well, if you haven't wanted it since November, how come you want it now? And needless to say that the pressure came on and people weren't turning up, and we've got stacks this high of those plastic sleeves, throwing out lever arch folders because nobody wants them. My bookkeeper did, I gave her 50. But people get really anxious and they start yelling and they start making unreasonable demands. So a whole squad has to be very calm and patient and helpful. And we overall managed to do that. But some of the things we find, and I think the oddest thing I found was a wedding ring to Chris with love, was in a drawer with the stationery. We've got it safe though, should Chris ever turn up. No, I don't think so. It's only since November 2014. Communications were really important. There was a big fall down in the way that their communications division were actually explaining to people. Because if people realised that they needed to come to their desk, find the records, throw out what wasn't a record, and take their training shoes, their suits, their swimmers, their whatever it is they've got home, because it's not up to an organisation to keep your personal kit. You look after that yourself. So there was a bit of misunderstanding around that. But what we do know is that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And though with the best intentions and our knowledge, if we'd kept going on that left, right, I think we would have got it done without having to divert off, because it's like stopping the Titanic when you're in a rhythm of behaving like that. So what I suggest to you is if you're ever in this situation, you need somebody who is a records manager on your planning team, because they know what a record is. You need to develop a plan, and if your office is messy right now, please make a plan. And please, if you ever get round to doing this sort of thing, be kind to the people, because everybody in this organisation is so stressed that they just yell instead of saying hello. So with that, I can take questions if you're curious. But
Read the file and bring.
in a very safe place, waiting to find somebody called Chris. Any other questions? Good, you'll all be prepared. Well, the thing about the wine bottles, now I took photos of everything because we need to be protected. They disappeared. Surprise, surprise. And this, not by my staff, we've got non-drinkers. No, the organisation became quite feral. Somebody stole our phone chargers, stuff like that. It was just fascinating to watch, but better communication and planning would have worked.
One more.
What is the record? I'm really concerned about this because everybody's putting everything electronically, but I know things that are electronic you cannot any longer get access to, so I'm not sure it's safe. So what's a record?
And physical, and a record is a document or information that's created by the business in the way of their business, or something that they receive into their business. So the download from the internet, which is your research, is not a record, even if it feeds into a document you've prepared. So if it's paper, you need to put on a proper file. I mean, those shelves are collapsing, that's a bit scary. If it's electronic, you need to file it into an electronic document and records management system, and the server in your office is not one of those. Because when you turn up at court to defend yourself, you need to be able to say that it was created on this day, it was altered on this day, and it's not been altered since. Public Records Act, their guidelines are pretty good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Helen, thank you very much for entertaining us. I now know what happens to the files, so I'm really, really ready for the next filing.
Thank you.
Little token of our appreciation. Thank you very much again.
Much.
Thank you.